why do you think the church fairly regularly declines the invitation to deal seriously with racism? Seems like it should be right in our lane, but I see huge pushback.
So I think that's a great question, Bishop, and I think there are historical reasons for that. I think that the church, by which I mean in this context, the largely white church in America is what I'm referring to when I'm answering this question. Because the fact of the matter is that the African American church has been a faithful source of resistance to white supremacy from the beginning, and so have certain other branches of Christianity that are more white in nature. I think of certain Quakers and certain Northern Presbyterians and Mennonites and people like that. But in general, the kind of WASP establishment has resisted this, and I think that there are historical reasons for that. This historic alignment of American Protestant Christianity with the Nationalist Project, and viewing the Nationalist Project as an expression of Christian mission. And I think Willie James Jennings' book, The Christian Imagination, is like the gold mine on this. How there's this sort of imaginative structure that is historically mediated here, where churches have just come to believe themselves to be representatives and stewards of a nation in a certain way. And that has led, unfortunately, to theological reasons, meaning I think a lot of our theology, and this is, in my judgment, beyond controversy historically, a lot of our theology has been shaped so as to support that historical imagination. And so there are people who are, sort of stewarding this not only historical but theological project, that have profoundly vested interest in not having been wrong, and having been on the right side of history. And I see that is a very, very deep pathology in American Protestant evangelicalism, especially. This need to have done it right and been on the right side and to be a part of God's mission, and to constantly make the real enemies exogenous to us. It's either the liberals or the Marxists, or it's the Russians, or it's the Chinese or somebody else. It's certainly not us. And so I think there are historical and theological and cultural reasons for that. But ultimately, I think that there are moral reasons for that. I think that this is a moral failure and a profound need by the, quote, thought leaders of the American evangelical church to be right and to believe themselves to be the ones who ought to be in discursive control of the way the conversation takes shape in America. And I think until they renounce that and repent of that, and begin to lead people into an actually real world in which we're not actually right, in which we have to learn from the Black church and other people that have been resisting this pathology, that we're going to stay morally sick. And I think that I see it as Ralph Ellison saw it, as Frederick Douglass saw it. I not only see it because they saw it and told me. I see it as a form of moral blindness, and that is what, in my view, we're really actually facing.